Iron Mike Tyson is one of the most terrifying fighters to have ever entered the ring, having been taught by Cus D'Amato in his Peekaboo style of boxing. Today we're going to look at some unique drills that Tyson practiced with trainer Kevin Rooney. These drills truly paid off, leading to a number of spectacular knockouts. The first drill we're going to look at led to multiple knockouts, and also one of the most skillful knockdowns in boxing history. Here, Rooney demonstrates a fast jump turn to quickly change angles and set up a new line of attack. As a multi-stance fighter, Tyson can use this technique in either direction. Rooney taught this as a technique to help escape the ropes, and it worked beautifully. In this fight, Tyson's opponent had him backed up against the ropes. Tyson turns off angle, finding a path around his opponent's guard and landing a short, jarring uppercut. Having placed his lead foot outside his opponent's, he can now continue stepping around to stay one step ahead. A short hook sends his opponent crashing to the ground. Here Tyson uses the same technique to escape the ropes once again, this time stepping outside from a southpaw stance. He then throws his signature body hook uppercut combination to finish the fight. Now let's look at the insane knockdown mentioned earlier. Tyson's opponent charges at him, but Tyson keeps a cool head. He ducks low, then turns to avoid his opponent's attack, ending up almost behind him. He then lands a thunderous hook as his opponent tries to realign himself. Tyson also practiced moving offline to dislodge opponents with their backs against the ropes, in this drill using a sidestep. Here's a cool example from one of Tyson's amateur fights. In the pros, his opponents usually had the sense to try to shell up. Once again, the hook and uppercut reinforce each other perfectly. The hook moves the opponent's guard to the side to make way for the uppercut. Tyson would force a difficult choice on his opponent: protect their head or body. I say difficult because this was essentially a choice between a concussion or broken ribs. Tyson threw these combinations off of the same hand, and it's very evident from the small bit of training footage we have that this strategy was a major part of Tyson's pad work. This is a difficult technique for many to master, as it can be hard to properly load up the second punch and still hit your target in time. But when thrown correctly, the first punch can create an opening that the second punch can quickly capitalize on. Tyson enhanced this technique by moving offline to create a better angle for the second punch. Here Rooney demonstrates shifting forward in the southpaw to hit with the new lead hand. It makes more sense to have the lead hand double up so you can quickly take advantage of the new opening. So being able to shift offline is extremely useful. And here's a beautiful example of Tyson using this principle to score a knockout. He first steps into southpaw to triple up on his opponent's left side, and then steps back into orthodox to attack his right side. The next drill features one of Tyson's most prominent techniques. Tyson would step in deep, far deeper than most any boxer, and slip inside to crowd his opponent and set up powerful angles for his lead hooks and uppercuts. A great deal of Tyson knockdowns were landed by a slip followed immediately by a lead hook. Here's just a few. From this deep angle, the lead hand can end up farther away from your opponent than the rear hand, adding on a great deal of power and altering the lead hook's movement dynamics to be something more like a cross or rear hook. This worked perfectly for Tyson's multi-stance footwork, which I've already covered fairly extensively in other videos. One of the most effective ways Tyson set this up was to first throw a jab to draw an attack, before slipping his opponent's counter, and then firing back. Rooney drilled multiple variations of the slip counter and jab slip counter with Tyson, and is a great staple technique for any fighter. Keep in mind though, taking such an extreme angle won't work for everyone. Next drill. In this clip, Tyson practices aggressively shifting forward, alternating head slots with each step. The amount of skill and timing involved in this drill is mind-blowing. Tyson usually closed the distance before he had a chance to slip this many times. But here's a cool example with multiple slips as he chases his opponent halfway across the ring before finally throwing a punch. Tyson's emphasis on training head movement meant that he could dodge an absolutely ridiculous amount of punches without getting hit or moving out of the way. As seen here in one of the absolute coolest KOs of all time. That's it for now. Let everyone know in the comments if you would like to see more drills and their real-life applications. I only covered about half the drills in this video. Stay tuned for more fight and technique breakdowns. If you're interested in improving your striking or mastering footwork techniques like Tyson, you can check out my books Footwork Wins Fights and Power of the Pros. For the Modern Martial Artist, this has been David Christian, wishing you happy training.